Good morning, everyone. It's Carol here from aquahaven747.com. In today's video, I'd like to share with you 10 things that you can do to help you reset for the new year so you can have a fabulous new year. If that is something you're interested in watching, I'll see you at the end. Well, Christmas is over and it is time for me to undecorate now. And this is probably, I guess, one of the first things we need to do to reset for the new year. Okay, so I have put all these decorations away. If you didn't declutter last year or before Christmas, now would be a good time to do it. I did mine last year, and there was actually one or two things I got rid of when I got my decorations out this last season because they were damaged, and I didn't love them enough to try and save them. So they went, and this is what I'm left with. I did not use all of these decorations on my tree this year, and next year I may rethink keeping some of them, but a lot of these things are sentimental, so I'll probably keep those, but you never know. So that's it for my tree ornaments. And so my tree's looking pretty bare here, except for that on the top, and I can take that apart and put it away in my tree bag. Okay, so I finally got everything put back in the bins. This one is angel stars, tableware, and vases. And I still have to put the stars in that are downstairs. But these are, table stuff. And I got a new oven mitt and pot holder there, plus the usual Santa Claus and vases. And I put the package here with all the ribbons and bows and things that I have that are also tree decorations. Put my garlands back in here. I couldn't fit all my Christmas balls in with, this is all Christmas tree ornaments, so I put with one bag on top in here. And got the stockings down below, the stocking holders, but other than that, that's all that's in there. And as I already showed you before, this is all my Christmas tree decorations. So I will put the lids on and take them back down to my storage room. The next thing I like to do before I get into the nitty-gritty of planning my new year is to reflect on last year with gratitude, and then I will make a list of my goals and plans and make a vision board. After the Christmas decorations are down, I like to go through my fridge and reset that for the new year. It needs a good clean out. There's probably leftovers in a lot of your fridges. There might be crumbs and spills and that type of thing. Mine is looking a little bare here. I did actually do some grocery shopping last week, but I didn't want to get too much because I knew I was going to be doing this. So I will do that now. I'm going to be taking everything out, wiping down all the shelves and everything, checking expiry dates, and then I'll reorganize. Okay, so I finished cleaning everything out here, washed all the bins, really hot water, even got all the grooves cleaned out of some stuff that had spilled on there, and just regular wiping didn't get it up. So I did put a few things aside that I'm going to dump and get rid of. Their past expiry date, and they smell awful, and I know I'm never going to use them. Some things I didn't like to begin with. And I did have a couple of other things that I used up as well. I've already put the jars in the recycling. But the next thing I'm going to do is go through the freezers, and then I will start working on a plan to use up things that are needing to get used up before I either buy some more stuff or open a new jar. Good afternoon. I'm finally going to clean out my freezer here and reorganize part of my New Year's reset. Okay, so this little freezer has been cleaned out. All the frost is gone. All the bins were cleaned out. Everything's been inventoried in it, so I know exactly what I have. And I can start making meal plans for the new year. I already did a little bit of reorganizing down here in my chest freezer, but I wanted to clean out all this extra frost buildup. And I'm going to try and fill it up because that's what happens when it's not completely filled. So here in my deep freezer, I finished cleaning it out a few days ago, and I put these new bins in. I still have to put labels on some of them, but I did an inventory as well. So I know what I have and what I need to look for when I'm out shopping, or if some deals come up, I've got a little bit of room left that I can put them in. This afternoon, I am going to clean out my pantry area here. I did a little bit of grocery shopping and didn't have some room for things, so some things need to be shuffled around. And I'm also going to do a little inventory, so I'll be all ready for the new year. Okay, finish this section, and now I'm going to go on to that. Okay, so this area is done. It is basically back stock for baking supplies, extra crackers, and some treats. So yesterday I did my upper cabinets there with my pantry goods, and today I'm going to finish up by doing these drawers here and a couple other cupboards that have tea and coffee and oils and vinegar in. Okay, so I finished cleaning these drawers out. I even wiped down all the jars because some of them have got kind of like sticky crap on them. And I took note of how much was in each of them. I topped up ones that I had extra in back stock. In my can drawer, again, I've took note of what I have, the expiry dates on some, which things I should be using up. And this is my back stock drawer for my spices and things. I've also got some gum here, as you can see. And yeah, so I can refill the spice jars from some of these things. And I've also got some, different seasonings, steak seasoning, Jamaican jerk seasoning, seafood rub, those are really good. And good gravy packets here, extra spices there too. In the bottom, I've got my onions, and it's like 2 levels here. So I've got extra down below there, a couple different types of onion, a garlic thing, and there I've got a couple different types of potatoes. The ones I want to use up first are on top, and I've got an extra thing of coffee. I've got some coconut oil, some ghee, an extra thing of salsa, and an extra thing of tamari. So that is that. So here are all my oils and vinegars up there. I cleaned them all off, and I dumped a few that were almost empty that I know I'm not actually going to use. And cleaned off the salt and pepper mills. For the Herbalife shakes here, I will not be buying any more of those. They've just gotten too expensive. So when those are used up, I will have a shelf available for something else. So here is my coffee and tea cupboard. I've cleaned it all out and reorganized it a little bit. I've taken out some of my cups that I used to have up there, and I've put them in another cabinet. So that I may show on another video to come. But I want it to have the things I use most regularly easy to reach. So I've got my different types of coffee, regular and decaf. There's cocoa on the other side, hot chocolate way in the back if my grandkids come over and want that. And I got all these different kinds of tea in here. So those are the ones most regularly to use. I've got some more tea up there, tea diffuser, and on the top shelf I've got some more backstock tea behind the little teapot and the coffee mill. If you didn't help your kids declutter before Christmas, now would be the time to do it. And also find a new home for all those new presents. So it's that time of year again. I have to go through my clothes and see what I need to declutter. I know there's some things in here that, although I love them, they are, shall we say, past their best buy date. They have got holes and stains and things like that. And yeah, so if you watched my video last year on decluttering things, you probably will notice a lot of the same things in here now. But now obviously I've got some things in the laundry, and there's the clothes I'm wearing right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go through things and see what I need to part with, make room for the new stuff. Well, I have finished going through everything that was in my closet and have come up with a few things to get rid of. These 3 tops are 3 of my favorite tops, actually, and unfortunately, that is why I'm getting rid of that one. It has just gotten so threadbare that it's kind of garbage. I think that might only be good for rags, so I'll probably cut that up and turn that into rags. This one also has a whole bunch of little holes. You probably can't see them here, but yeah, like tons of little holes there. Unfortunately, because that was one of my favorite tops too. But that one I'm going to turn into a pink shirt, and this is also one of my favorite shirts. But it's got some stains on it that will not come out. And I can see them too well on. May not be able to see them too well here on the camera. I know they're there. And when I have them on, they really show up. So anyway, that is also going to be a paint shirt. I decluttered a lot of my paint stuff here. So this is all paint stuff that I'm getting rid of. I think these are going to be enough, I think, for any painting jobs I've got coming up. Socks and underwear, of course, any socks that have holes in, they're going. As mentioned in my video last year, I tend to have a lot of the same socks in the same color. So if I get a hole in one, I save the good one, and then when I get a hole in another matching pair, I can throw out the one with the hole and I reuse the good one. So it extends the life of my socks that way. Alternatively, if you want to darn your socks, you can do that to extend the life of them a little bit. I don't know anybody that does that anymore. My mom is the last person I knew that did it, but maybe there's someone out there that could take that up again. And you know, when we're trying to save money in these very difficult times, that would be one way to do it. But yeah, so that's kind of like garbage stuff to be cut up into rags or thrown in the garbage. And these are all things that are still pretty good. Some of them I've hardly worn at all, but I have found that, you know, they're either not as flattering on me or I'm just tired of them. Because nobody wants to have clothes that don't make you look your best. You don't want clothes that make you look fatter if you're on the heavy side. You don't want clothes that make you look too skinny if you're trying to put on weight. So it's at both ends of the spectrum, but you want clothes that make you look your best, and make you feel your best. Here is my completed closet clean out. As you probably already know, I keep all my clothes in this closet that actually fit me. And that's summer stuff, winter stuff, doesn't matter. They're all in here. Obviously, I'm not wearing them all the time, but I was able to get rid of a few things, and I know the areas where I may need to refill. And, I made some room in some drawers here. I've got my new sweatshirt there. I've got some empty space for pajamas and some empty space for t-shirts. Not that I'm going to rush out and buy new stuff. Underwear and socks. So, yeah, I know where I'm at. I got rid of a lot of my paint clothes, and some of the things, some of my favorite tops there have now been delegated to my paint basket. But some of my old paint clothes I cut up into rags, so not a total waste there. I like to reuse as much as possible before things end up getting thrown out. So yeah, another area reset, ready to go for the new year. Another area, if you didn't declutter before Christmas, would be a great place to do now, and that is the bathroom and all your beauty supplies. Make room for your new ones. Another area I like to reset at the beginning of the new year is my finances and my budgeting. So I keep track of everything I spend throughout the year, and not just for tax purposes, but my personal stuff as well. So I can look back and see exactly where my money is going, where I'm overspending. I know that happens. And then I can make adjustments as I go along. So I just used a Excel type program on the computer to make these receipt logs. And I have many different categories, like the food stuff and car stuff and house stuff and extra stuff like gifts and books and things, business things, personal items, whatever. So I can keep track of them throughout the year. I keep them in this binder here now, and I have to take out the old ones from last year and put the new ones in. So that is what I am doing today. Part of my financial reset requires me to go through my file drawer and weed it out of last year's things. So last year's things that I need to keep for tax reasons are going in my archive files. That's all that stuff there. Anything I can get rid of that has any sensitive information on, I shred. Of course, I put as much as possible in recycling too. So I have all this extra space now available that I can fill up with this year's bills and things that I need to keep. And I usually only like to keep 1 year's worth of bills and things in this drawer. Now, a couple of benefits for doing this is if I've misfiled something, and that does happen on occasion, I may find them. And the other benefit is that it triggers me to pay attention to my finances. I may need to get an updated statement for things. I may want to think about making changes in some of my investments if they haven't been doing so well, that type of thing. So anyway, I hope that these tips have been helpful to you, and I will see you in the next one.